Hello and welcome to Kataijin Tutorials. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to color match and tone match. It is almost the same thing. Tone is about the lights and the colors is about, well, the color. There are a few different really good methods to doing this. This is the method that I use in terms of color and tone matching. Now, what I've done here is I've logged on to Second Life and I took a really quick screenshot of my hand with the slink hand, and I put it on a different color for my hand compared to my base skin tone. Now, obviously this is a really bad picture, and, well, this is the only way I'll ever see the light of day. But you can see that my hand is completely a different color than my actual skin tone, and I've run into this several times, and sometimes my colors and my shadows just don't really match up, especially like with people who put together outfits, or even myself, where we try to do the same color for our entire outfit, but the tone is just slightly off in our picture. Well, we can correct that. Now, I've already prepared a work path with a lot of points here. I'll show you real quick. Just using my pen tool to get a really good quick selection here. And we're going to use this as a mask. So I'm actually going to pull my path panels out here. Go back to my layers. And I'm going to show you how we do this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new adjustment layer. I'm going to use Selective Color. And this is what we're going to use to adjust and fix our color. Now, you notice that since I had my path selected, it made me a vector mask. Now, you can use a layer mask if you want. I'm actually going to delete this vector mask because I don't want that. I actually just want a regular layer mask from this selection. There we go. Okay, so, and a path panel, just put it back in my work there. I am going to leave the properties for the selective color because we're going to be working in here pretty much exclusively. We're also going to be working with the Eyedropper Tool today, and that is over here, and it's this icon. You can also hotkey it to eye, and you're going to want to take a sample that's relative to the size of your image. Now, this is quite a large image, so I'm going to be taking a 31 by 31 average of these colors. Now, if you click and drag, or just click different areas, you can pick up different colors. But yeah, that isn't really going to help us very much. So if we go over here to Window and bring up our Info panel, and I'm going to pull this out because I actually want to look at it. When we hover over with our Eyedropper tool, and you can see here I'm showing all layers, what's happening here is it's showing us the color information. And what we're going to want to do to match these tones is I'm going to actually set down 2 points. And I do that by holding Shift with this Eyedropper tool. I'm going to set a point here, and I'm going to set a point here. And because I'm going to want to fix the variance between these two colors. Now, the other thing about the mask here is if we start adjusting this whole mask is the entire hand. I don't want the entire hand, so I'm just going to take my brush tool here with black selected. Oops. And I'm just going to paint out roughly where I don't want this. Clean this up real quick. Okay. Now I can explain what was going on here. Now, in the Info tool here, there's gonna be little eyedropper points where we had these eyedropper points set, and you're gonna want to change this to CMYK on both of them. Now, we are working in an RGB color mode here. Don't worry too much about that, but for doing this method, you really should use CMYK. It is a lot more accurate. Now, in this points here, these letters represent different colors and light value. So C is cyan, M is magenta, Y is yellow, and K is the Kelvin, which determines the lightness. Now, between these 2 points, you can see that point 1 is a little lighter than point 2, which is point 2 is 1% Kelvin, and there is some variation in the colors here. So, in our selective adjustment, we're going to adjust our masked area to match this other tone. Now, normally, if you're working in skins, you're going to be working in the reds channel, but you can see you have a lot of different options for adjusting different things here. So the first thing I'm going to do, what I typically do, is I try to match the light, especially if it's in the same tone area. And when you do these points, you want them to try to be placing them in the same area of light. So if it's a really highlighted area, sample another highlighted area. Midtones the midtones, shadows the shadows. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get this to 1% here, and I'm going to adjust this. And as you can see, as I pull it up, and I had to go all the way up to 100%, that this changed to 1. Now these other values on the side, these are what it was before, and this is after we dropped our pin. Alright, so in cyans, we're going to need to bring that up to 16%. It's at 15 right now, so it's already pretty close. And there we go, 16, by just adjusting our cyan up. Our magenta, it needs to go up just a little bit, 2 points. Ooh, it's way too much. And down to 64%, 44%. And then we need to lower our yellow value to 57, so we will lower to 57. Now, this is pretty close. Now, if you look, this is almost a perfect tone match now. Now this isn't, I mean, you turn it on and off, you can see what's happened here. This is one method, and sometimes it's not perfect, but if you do a couple different adjustments in different areas, you will get almost a perfect tone match every time. And most of the time, you're doing small adjustments. You can get a lot more accurate if you change your sampling from an 8-bit to a 16-bit, but you're going to have to be looking at a lot bigger numbers. You're going to have to be doing a lot more adjustments than you were doing previously. So you can see here, I'm actually getting these numbers really, really close. Just need to go just a tad here. About as close as I'm going to get. My yellows need to go to 1405. That's about as close as it's going to get. And my Kelvin, that's already pretty close. So you can see, using different bit colors for your sampling, you can get an even closer match. Now it is still a little discolored here, and I would actually do another sampling and do another selective adjustment, color adjustment on top of this. But you can see it's actually relatively quick and relatively easy. One quick last thing here is you can actually remove these points if these annoy you by holding Shift and Alt Option and then clicking. Now to remove them, and you can also hold Control and you can actually move them around to change your point. Alright, that's it for this. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you'd like to see for into the next video. Thanks.